Good morning, guys. So I am going to hop into my workout, but I get a lot of questions when I run these groups about how I implement, make sure that doesn't fall off, how I implement clean eating, how I implement our fitness lifestyle with our family. What do our kids eat? What do our kids do? No, my kids do not just eat vegetables all day long. So I want to share with you 3 things that really have, when somebody says I have a picky eater, go over these 3 things to see if any of these 3 help you. Number 1, well, let me tell you a real quick backstory. My picky eater is Scooter. At the age of 18 months old, he spit out his last spoonful of pureed vegetables. I was trying to do the switch off and surprise him. At that point, he was not eating any finger food vegetables. He ate dairy, bread, and fruit. He didn't eat any meat, any pasta, no vegetables, just dairy. If it was not dairy, bread, or fruit, he did not touch it. Took him into the doctor, really kind of worried for his checkup, his 18-month checkup, and we needed to monitor his weight. And it was at 3 years old that he wasn't really gaining any weight. There was some red flags going up. And so we actually sat him down and he had to do a carrot, a pea, a green bean, a carrot, a pea, a piece of corn, or a green bean. And he had to do one of those. Just take one of those before I would feed him anything else. And this was all under the direction of the pediatrician. He went from Friday morning until Sunday morning with sips of water between every hour to make sure he stayed hydrated. But he refused to eat one of those. I mean, I put a whole entire bowl of cookie dough down in front of him and said, I'll make this and you can have all the cookies if you have one of those. And he refused. It was Sunday morning and I said, I'm going to make you some chocolate chip pancakes. You eat one of those and you can have however many pancakes you want. And he was super cranky. And let me tell you, I'm glossing over this to make sure that it doesn't take too long. There was weeping, wailing, and gnashing of teeth all weekend. It was horrible. He Kevin put a piece of corn in his mouth, and he said, "Here, drink it up," and give him a drink of water, and had it go down. He said, and Scooter looked at me and said, "Now I can have some chocolate chip pancakes." And I said, "Yeah." So making chocolate chip pancakes, and he turns around and he throws up the piece of corn, like he gags, and then makes himself throw the piece of corn up, and then gobbles up the chocolate chip pancakes. So, yeah, strong-willed picky eater. But here's the 3 things to think about when you have a picky eater. Number 1, are you relating to why they need to eat healthy to an emotional reason? We talked about emotionally connecting the reason why you're trying to stay healthy. Are you doing that for your kids by nagging them about how they need to stay healthy, they need to get strong? They don't know what that really means. Being strong to them, Scooter screams at Mom, "I'm a little kid, I can't ever be as strong as you." It's kind of like we know what it means, but it's hard for them to emotionally relate to something like that. It was when we signed up for races, and we actually signed up our kids for the races to run the kids races afterwards, that there was an aha moment for Scooter where he got to the start line and they said go, and he raced and he ran as fast as he could, and he said, "Mom, did I win? Did I come in first?" I said, "We totally won," and it's one of those awkward moments where you want to not deflate him. I said, "They're older kids, buddy. They're you did your best, and it was awesome, and you went so fast. You are the number 1 6-year-old Scooter in this race." and he said, "But I'm not eating very healthy. But if I did, I probably could run faster, couldn't I?" And so that was like an aha moment for him. And so now you'll even see in some of our other videos where Scooter relates being healthy with running fast, because that's important to him. He's a little competitor. For Andy, she likes eating healthy because it's going to make her hair and nails grow. Find something that they emotionally like. Andy also likes the idea of being a tall princess. And so eating healthy is going to help her grow tall. So you know what? If they like to play video games, talk to them about how carrots are going to make sure that their eyesight stays great. Or, eating this healthy meal is going to make sure that their fingers don't get, tired. I don't know. Just Find something. And that's also the reason why we like to do activities as a family and do things together. So that way then we can constantly talk to them about how we're so grateful. And we don't nag them, but we're constantly talking about how grateful we are that we have healthy bodies, that we can go do this. We can go have fun, that we're all healthy. We can all do these things together. Number 2 is to make sure that you are giving them a variety of foods. It hit me when Andy, I think she was 1.5 years, and we were out with friends, and she grabbed a black olive off of my friend's plate. And I was like, oh, Andy, don't do that. And my friend looked at me and was like, why not? Well, I hate black olives. They just, I cannot get them down. I will eat them if I'm told to, but I just do not voluntarily get black olives. And so I realized Andy would never have had a black olive if it wasn't for that moment until she was like in college out with friends. And so it hit me at the very moment that there were things that I was not feeding my kids because I didn't like them, so I didn't buy them. Scooter, here's an example. He doesn't like mashed potatoes, but he loves sweet potato soup. Scooter hates apples, pears, bananas, and grapes. I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I feed this kid? Those are the typical kid fruits. Scooter loves grapefruit. You just cut that grapefruit, the little pieces, and he picks them out with a fork, and then he even takes a straw and he squeezes all the juice in the rind and he drinks it with a straw. Like, that's his favorite fruit and that's his favorite way to eat it. He loves kiwis. He loves lemons and limes in his water. And so, you know, and he hates chicken. Try and get him to eat chicken and it's a cry fest. But you put down a plate of salmon in front of him and he's all over that. Roast beef, heck yeah. And so you got to make sure that you are giving them enough variety, giving them things not with your preconceived dislikes upon them. And so that's number 2. And now number 3, and I'm going to get real with you. I'm going to get honest with you. And you're probably not going to like what I have to say because I know I didn't. Are you the parent in your house? When it comes to your kitchen, who's in charge? If at the age of 3 years old, Scooter would sit there and wait till I falter on what I wanted him to do, I'm betting you don't have picky eaters, you have smart kids. When I hear somebody say, I can't feed this to my kids, they won't eat it, I have picky eaters. No, you don't have picky eaters. You just have kids who know that you're not going to last very long when it comes to a standoff over food. Here's the deal. Parents need to step up, and it is nutrition and it is health, and that is a battle they must pick. You pick and choose your battles. Nutrition is the battle in our house. Because I would rather be the parent, and I would rather have Scooter not like me because I made him eat healthy food. I would rather have Scooter get upset because he didn't get to play because he had to sit there till he finished every one bite on his plate than have him calling me years from now telling me he's diagnosed with diabetes. I would rather have him be mad at me than have him have to go through a whole bunch of health problems later on in life because I didn't do my job in teaching him what he should and shouldn't be eating. What happened when he was 3 years old and he had that piece of corn and then he spit it out? But here's the deal. That changed everything for us. Because I started to notice that it wasn't just in the meals. I put a meal down and he'd say no, and there was a temper tantrum and there was a battle. All of a sudden, that next morning, I would say, it's time to get dressed, get ready for school, and he'd say no. And there'd be a temper tantrum and crying. And I'd say, clean your room, and he'd say no. He found a point when he would say no, and I would falter and give him something else to eat. He started thinking, where else can I get away with something more? I tell you that as soon as that happened at 3 years old, his behavior changed. He started getting dressed on his own. He made his bed, cleaned his room. He's not perfect, and now he's kind of over cleaning his room. But I stood up as a parent in that one area, and his behavior in all the other areas changed. If you've got a picky eater, take a look at yourself. And are you going to let them tell you what they want to eat with the risk of having health concerns later? Or are you going to be the parent, be in charge, and give your kid the nutrition you know your kid needs? Do I alter some of my recipes a little bit? Sure. Stir fry, you know what, Scooter, it's okay. I know you don't like squishy peppers. Go ahead and just eat the carrots and the zucchini. I alter it a little bit, but I don't change it to something not healthy simply so he'll eat it. That's not the way that it works in our household. And it has been an amazingly wonderful experience for us. Because as you see, it's now implemented into our whole entire family. And it has brought us closer. And we are now doing so much better together as a family. And I am so grateful for my kids that I've taught these things to, so then they can turn around and hold me accountable. So we as a healthy family can enjoy a lot more activities together. I hope this helps.